Well, it's great to be with you and talking to you again. There's a very old English saying which talks about being able to turn on a sixpence. A sixpence was a very small silver coin in pre-decimal days. It was about being able to turn quickly with precision, especially when there was limited room for manoeuvre. And leading the church has felt like that. It's like trying to turn on a sixpence over the past month. We were headed towards buying another building. And that's on hold for now. Most of our community action has been about gathering people together and serving them in groups. The old bus station, the winter night shelter, and so on. Well, in the new world, that's the last thing we want to do for now. Gathering people simply risks spreading the virus. And as for the conferencing business, well, that was funding the building that we own in its entirety. Suddenly, the bottom fell out of that market, and we had 95% of cancellations in literally 36 hours. The speed was absolutely astonishing. We were also moving more online, but we were doing it slowly and steadily in a sort of measured and sort of well-paced way. Suddenly, everything had to change. The first issue for me was trying to stabilise the church charity. We had to put all but one of the conferencing staff on furlough. Some activities no longer happen, like counting the Sunday offerings and DBS checks, so 3 of the ministry staff also went on furlough. A total of 10 out of 35, mainly part-time staff, were furloughed. And we also decided we wanted to be in this together, all of us bearing some of the pain, rather than pick some people for redundancy and leave the rest of us completely without any impact. So almost all the remaining working staff were asked to contribute 20% more to the church finances by reducing their salary temporarily by 20%. And all have agreed to this. Next issue, in parallel, was getting everything online. Tim Williams took responsibility for that, and now the Sunday meetings, the Sunday worship, Sunday children's programme, they're all available online. Dan Jolliffe and others, such as E.J. Cooper, have made a massive contribution to this. So thank you to them very much. We realised that people needed to build new, good habits in a strange environment. So Tim started 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. devotionals on Facebook Live, and those take place Monday to Friday. We're aiming to do as much as we possibly can through church members, so that it's personal and someone you might know, rather than professional, slick presentations. The small groups also need to get online. Johan and Maya got the small groups, which were coming to their termly end, back up and running with another half a dozen or so added, and all of that in 4 days flat. Many other areas needed adjustment as well, which were happening fast but quietly behind the scenes. So things like the 3D youth needed online small groups. We know that we're not there yet, so please bear with us. It took 3 attempts, for example, to get the excellent quality children's programme online and working, rather than having the transmission breaking up all the time. The next issue for us was in dealing with how to identify the greatest needs. We had to identify vulnerable people and those in need. We have some systems in place for that. We've already paid for some food and gas and electricity where it's been needed, but we're still identifying all those who need additional support. We've set up a hardship fund. You can give to that through the website, going to Church Online and clicking on the giving button. And next, we're planning to contact everyone we can to try to identify where further needs lie. And we know that there is a lot of pain going on. We're aware of 2 church members or contacts from the church who've already died because of the COVID-19 epidemic. So what conclusions have we drawn about doing life? Well, first of all, we need connections, but they have to be done in a new way. Secondly, we need structure and frameworks, but they take time to build into new habits. Thirdly, we need control in our lives. Setting goals that we can fulfill, however small, are helpful to achieving that. How has this impacted me personally? Well, the first thing I felt initially was a real sense of dislocation. Many of the old ways and solutions no longer worked. Where on earth do I go from here? I need to get to grips with a lot more new technology. Zoom and Facebook and house parties so far. with many more still to come. Secondly, I felt a sense of loss. I can't see my granddaughters face to face any longer. I'm an extrovert. I need to be with 300, 400 people at a time, and I can't do that for now. And thirdly, I felt a sense of tiredness. I just want to curl up in a ball and sleep. I don't want to bother any longer. I get through each day by giving myself specific small goals to achieve, and I invest time with God. We know that there are more changes to come. We need to use a wider range of technology, moving beyond the website, YouTube, Facebook, and the sort of basic technologies we're already using. We're going to add a corporate prayer meeting, probably early evening on Sundays. And the impact will be ongoing for some time. Some of the things we used to do, we won't be going back to doing again. Some of the new things we are now doing will need to be sustained and enhanced and developed. We're going to need to keep adjusting and turning on a sixpence wherever we can. How can you help? Well, 3 things that you can do. Firstly, you can contact people, stay in touch with people. Don't wait for them to contact you. You please contact them. Secondly, please pray for us. Pray for us as a leadership team that we will lead well and that we will engage people and connect with people and help them along in the best possible way. And thirdly, you can give. If you gave through the offerings on Sundays, please move that giving online. If you're able, please give to the hardship fund as well. We want to help with the wider needs. What conclusions have we drawn about life with God? Well, God is bigger than the problems. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who've been called according to his purpose. Secondly, God has brought people through problems before. We know that whether it's the Israelites enslaved in Egypt or the new Christians in Acts chapter 8 who get scattered to the 4 winds as persecution breaks out in Jerusalem, we know that God will carry us through all those things. And thirdly, the outcome is hope. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Then you'll call on me and come and pray to me, and I'll listen to you. You'll seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. And finally, a verse that I've quoted before, as Jesus himself said, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. God bless you as you navigate this crisis and you find your own ways of turning on a sixpence to manoeuvre and to get on a course that works for the next stage of your life. God bless you.